Hi, this is Seamus, the Whisky Club's buyer and ambassador, and today I'm here to bring you the next Whisky of the Month release, the upcoming GlenDronach Cask Strength Batch 10. Now, this is a whisky I'm incredibly proud of for a few reasons, but first and foremost, this is a global announcement by the Whisky Club, and Whisky Club members will be the first people in the entire world that do get to sample this whisky. As a new release, the GlenDronach Cask Strength Batch 10 obviously carries on a long line of cask strength bottlings from GlenDronach, and in that we're seeing the exact same things being carried through from batch 1 to batch 10. Prior to my time being the Whisky Club buyer, I was working directly for GlenDronach, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to pull out my old collection. There's a big reason for this is when deciding the inclusion of this whisky, we did also compare it to batch 1, batch 3, batch 6, which were some of our old favourites, and really see where it's at. Now, working with Rachel on this, she very much felt like this whisky should almost sit as the ultimate in the series. And as number 10, we really do see why. And having sampled this whisky fairly generously, and this is not the only bottle we've had, we completely agree. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to take everyone through the series a little bit and then end on trying this amazing whisky. So the GlenDronach Cask Strength series did start in 2012. It started under Billy Walker, the then Master Distiller's management of the distillery, and it has carried through all the way to now Master Distiller Rachel Barry's management. PX, Oloroso cask, cask strength, non-chill filtered and no colour added was the way this whisky was originally built, and throughout the entire series that has stayed absolutely true. So even at this end, despite any changes from the rest of the distillery, we are still seeing the cask strength being bottled at no colour added, non-chill filtered, and still cask strength. So sitting in the mid-50s, we should expect to see a fairly rich, sumptuous whisky. And that's really where this is always sat. Billy Walker used to frame this whisky up as the ultimate GlenDronach expression, and it's so heartwarming to hear Rachel do exactly the same thing. So I think without further ado, we really need to try this whisky. You'll get your bottle soon, I absolutely promise. But on the nose, it's doing exactly what we think it should. It's Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso casks. It is sweet, it is rich, it is inviting. We're getting dried fruits, we're getting fudge, caramelized figs. There is a nice berry note sitting through the middle of that too. But what's really striking is at 55 ABV, there is no heat. Sorry, potentially not 55, 58.6. There really is no heat. And that's remarkable for this whiskey. But it really is almost inviting us to what might be on the palate. So, on the palate, that is just gorgeous. We are seeing so many rich sugars. We're seeing that fudge note being absolutely carried through. All of the little teasing that we got on the nose is just being delivered on, and there is these bright, warming sugars now joining the party as well. It's like stewed stone fruits sitting alongside big fruit-cakey notes and all the sugars we'd absolutely expect. And then on the end, it's just following through all those sugars, but now there's a rich old leather note coming through, and it's just exceptional whiskey. So I'm incredibly proud of this whiskey. I think it sits amongst this series absolutely beautifully. If you wanted to compare this whiskey all the way back to batch 3, 2 or 1, I think it wouldn't only compete happily, it would almost beat the competition, but I will leave that judgment for you. I'm sure Rachel would say probably the same thing, as she is a master craftsman, but at the end of the day, this is an exceptionally strong whiskey. The Whisky Club did not only get the global announcement, but also the lion's share of bottles, so we can't wait to bring it to you. And this is just another reason to be a member of the Whisky Club. So, Salam Shiva.